Hello everyone, I'm Murray the Pie Man here with some more Star Trek Online. Now, if you remember from the last one, and I do apologise again for the snafu with the display in that one. I think it was that one that we had the problems with. But yes, last episode we had explored the vault, which you might have seen in the Countdown comic from the old Star Trek Online film. Having explored the vault, we met a lad called Obisek, who then tried to kill us because he was stealing Thalaron weapons. Again, something we've seen from our Nimbus days. So we are now investigating something in the Hifthar system. So that's where our next clue has led us. We are in our new ship. We've not really had a chance to test this out yet. Our last mission was in a shuttle, if I remember correctly, so you get to see why I don't. You might get to see why I don't particularly rate this ship. I'll stick with it for a bit. I think I have some other better ships lined up. So, Sub-Admiral, the Remans were targeting a magnesite mine in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all the moons of the system are inhabited and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We need to contact each moon to try and determine which one the Remans were actually targeting. So we've got to go and basically signal each of these 3 moons. Might as well pick up some hydrazine while we're here. Hope my volume balances are right. I am considering trying to go to a 2-screen setup so I can hopefully produce better videos.
Romulans? This space is becoming an intergalactic haven for beggars and refugees. Time to take out the trash.
That's not nice. That said, we are facing against. I don't see your problem. You seem to be doing okay. Yes, these are fairly low tier enemies at the moment. To an extent, it could actually be from the last character I had running with this that I've got better at the game. I doubt it, or it could also be just that we are in the early stage, and this one doesn't really start to squeak until much later on in the game. In theory, you can play the game with every without paying for a ship, and without even doing the events that give you free ships. But in reality, you'll find your life is a lot easier if you do. It's not quite a pay to win. There's not so much pay to win element. You will win regardless, but blimey, does it make life easier if you do pay? Well, don't pay. I like to say. I think I've said before, one of the things I do like is the game does give you plenty of opportunities to grind for stuff. Now, that might not sound like an attractive proposition, but I always like it as an option that if you're willing to put in the hours, we'll give you stuff. The 2 free tier 6 ship tokens you get for doing the event campaign. The event campaign's very long, a lot of work into it, but that's 2 free ships. Is not much, or indeed actually they also throw the Lockwater ships in there, which is a major thing.
This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Romulans allowed.
These people are so rude and insolent. This is a Romulan ship, they should speak to us in more respect. Yeah. We are kind of, people with only just found a new home world. You can see how people might think we're just here to ask for stuff. And last bit of hydrazine again. Crafting actually I do a little of. I don't use it much, but it's handy to have around. Do pick anything up. So yes, typically what we're looking for is always in the last place we look. I'll joke with that one. Of course, it's the last place you look. You're going to look for a few other things just because.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you.
Keep an eye on this guy. He turns up a couple of times.
High quality magnesite?
Maybe.
We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Unfortunately, the large amount of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense.
So, very
Also,
Ferengi here.
I know Romulans are fond of their entourages, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their
Maybe
work,
I would.
you?
We're ready to beam down in your command. Well, let's go. Just. I'm actually not going to take him. Take an engineer with me. Just sometimes too tactical can give you a wee bit of problems from facing people. You know, it's both the same ones. I always like to mix it up. Should have actually brought a healer now to think about it. But... So here's the mining facility. Now there is a weird thing. I'm going to show you it here. If anyone knows what this is about, please tell me in the comments, because there's this refugee you can speak to here who says, "Have you seen my brother?" And you can say, "Well,
My life is unimportant.
she's voice now."
It's my brother. I can't find him.
Maybe I can help. How long's he been
I
missing?
last saw him 2 days ago. Madron assigned both of us to work in the upper levels of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have gone with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone.
Why isn't it safe to be in the mine?
There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Madron tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and terrorize the weak. I once saw them dragging a woman to the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down, that we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers. Murderers. If they killed my brother, I'll kill them all.
Anything else I should know?
If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres.
Silver spheres, eh?
There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They're made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their
Devils
touch
in the
burns.
dark, you say? Yeah, you
I've
know your
seen
Star
them
Trek lord, you know.
moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away.
Now, the reason I said this is interesting is because I've not yet managed in many, many playthroughs to find this brother. Like I say, it seems to be, I don't know if it was a quest line that got cut, or is it never properly filled in, or if something's glitched and just no one talks to her enough to ever find her brother. But it's a kind of weird one. I thought it would be a little side quest. It doesn't even show up in the quest age, so we'll go and talk to Madron.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Drakhara. As you
Drakhara?
can see, we don't have time for pleasantries, and I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So
You were
why
nicer
don't we
on the
skip
comm.
the chit chat and get down to business.
Of course, I heard you were an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in the sector?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman.
Middleman.
Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Do you know anything else about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts, and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install
Lovely chap, isn't he?
just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore?
Oh, I think they've left a few corrections in there. Just obviously when they voiced this, they sped it up. Thanks. I'd like to speak to the miners first.
Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I just have a few questions before I conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Madram won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away for a possible sale. Perhaps we ask some of the locals what's going on. They'll be hiding for more information. So this is what we're going to do, is go and chat with people. You can see an argument happening there. Now this one actually has some career specific ones, so like I think this surveyor...
I'm sorry, I really can't talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft. As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate.
So you see there.
And I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me.
If I encounter anyone, I'll send your way. I don't have anyone. So yeah, there's a science one. I think the engineering one is to do with getting a drill bit. John, true stranger. We always lived here.
My family and I have been here all our lives. It's a hard life, but it's all I know. And my mother used to tell me tales of the home world. She'd talk about the plazas in Roteg or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnic Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry.
Tell me about my
He charges us too much and pays too little. He's like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve. And if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act any differently than he does?
Yeah. What can you tell me about this area?
Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine. And whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, stranger. And there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine. And they are dangerous. Even Madron fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. Now defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week, a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement, there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it's very young,
Roger telling me what
it can
warrigal
be
has
tamed.
here.
If you wait too long, they are savage. The packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles, looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. You must be careful when you are in their territory.
Oh, creatures made of stone in the mine again.
They are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it.
Have you seen anyone suspicious?
You're the first outsider I've seen in a long time. There's no reason for anyone to want to come here.
No, I'll leave you alone. You were boring. So we're looking for people with the... There's another person.
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run. And if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I need someone who's not afraid of a fight. There's a group here that's beating and stealing from us. Modron doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help?
Count me in.
There's a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family. Be a good man. He had an old bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now, my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them, I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us.
Yeah, let's do it. So we've got to find these thug gangs. That was the other one, it was someone with a drill who'd help. I think it is. We might end up talking to other people because we're never quite sure where. Oh, there's one of the gangs. Hey. You're welcome. Or some of those war eagles that we're talking about. I do quite like this map. You know, I thought they do quite a good impression of a refugee camp. I'll help. Duck. It's quite fun how I've got the special grenades that only hurt people I want to get hurt. Yeah, I suppose you do. Last lock. Oh great, a civilian's also attacking us for no reason. You weren't even a side quest.
Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a larger group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one who goes down there uninvited ever comes back. I don't know what's so important down there that's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers.
Yeah, okay, I'll give that a go. See. I won't go through all of them. There are some other bits of dialogue that you get talking to different people. I don't want to make this whole thing us talk to this chap, for example.
What can I say? We exist. And mine because there's nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I'm lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota and Modron pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Modron to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Modron to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go?
Tell me about Modron.
Every morning, the first thing I do when I wake is curse that Ferengi's name. Modron found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless, the supplies were gone, and we were starving. After some negotiations, Modron had his contract and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he's the only one who benefits.
I'll give you a
from
proper
our
view
labor.
of Modron.
Modron owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket. And he sets the prices for food, medicine, and equipment. So everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that. But I can't live with it.
Alright, you're fighting and take
A
the
few
yours.
people tried to take Modron's ship once, when he was sleeping off the Tranya he drinks. It has a biometric lock. Nothing on the ship responds to anyone but him. So what would we gain by fighting? A moon full of rocks and no one to sell them to? No food and no way to get more? No way to leave and no hope? I hate Modron, but because of him, my children don't cry out in hunger or shiver from the cold.
Get help from the Empire?
The Empire? What Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear the people in Sila's shining city and the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there's nothing but dust and regret.
Right, so let's go and talk to Modron. Probably shouldn't be holding a weapon.
You want to go in the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. Huh? There's a gang.
So
that
this gang
controls
seems
the
to be a
bottom
problem.
levels of the mine. They won't
Even
even
Modron
let
doesn't.
me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information. But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of neferious space?
I'll take that to heart. So now we're going to go to the mine. Which is just down here. Again, there's another odd bit here. So this is the upper level. You can see we have miners, but no one we can really talk to. That's where I was thinking we could... Well, actually what I was thinking was it's when we get to the lower levels we find that woman's brother, but... I'll show you where I think he's meant to show up, but... So there is this. Again, there's... Right here. Now I've got two options to talk way past the guard. However,
What do you want?
I'd like to
This
enter
area
there.
is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter. And I don't like you.
Maybe you got to know me a bit better, you'd like me.
You don't belong here. And I'm done talking with you. Leave now! Or suffer the consequences.
It's a pleasure wasting my time with you. And yeah, there doesn't seem to be a way to get him to not, so... There. So now we know we're coming in hostile. But look, they're labelled as ranks rather than angry miner. The Ulan's a Romulan rank. You know, this might not be miners. I'm glad I brought my engineer along. Good quality drop there. But yeah, still no sign of our folk here. Okay, well, examine the very obvious fake wall. There's a series of pressure plates located in the area. Low tech, the Tal-Shiar may have also, it says the Tal-Shiar. Outdated security management because of the interference from the magnesite in this cavern. problem is the magnesite is making your tricorders useless. If there's anything on this moon that the Remans would want to eliminate badly enough, it has to be here. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever Romulans are trying to hide. But we need to activate 2 of them to open the door. So yeah, what we've got to do, if conveniently blown, I stand on one. And then I have to use this function here, which is rarely used to direct your sidekick. Lock in positional coordinates. And there's our hidden door. All of a sudden things are looking a lot more Romulan.
I give the orders here, Commander.
Oh, it's this guy again.
Are out of line.
With all due respect, sir, there is a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking
There
them.
is much here you do not understand, Janek. The Remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders.
That was reanimated a bit.
Colonel,
Revoiced
they
him.
were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
I know, so we're completely engaged. We can sneak past them without being noticed. I'd like to say this is a stealth section, it isn't. Look. Oh. Okay. But that person's not paying attention, so. Oops. Yeah, I just shot that analysis. Alright, let's have a look to see what they're up to. We're drilling when we broke through into a chamber that hadn't been appeared in our scan. Blasted magnesite, blocks everything, sensors, tricorders, they're all useless. The chamber is large and should be suitable for an expansion of the base. There are several spherical orbs in it. We haven't been able to determine the nature of these orbs, but Janek thinks they're pretty. She kept on for her quarters. I've asked permission to study the orbs. They remind me of a Federation report I read once. I can't remember the details. Something about the Janus system. Ooh, another Star Trek reference, old Trek reference there. Ensign Crimin is dead. Hakeev ordered him to explore the tunnel. Found organic remains of his fully discharged structures nearby. It looked like it had been melted. I think we should wall off this section of the mine and not disturb the creature down here. 6 people have already died. 5 were miners and therefore expendable, but Crimin showed promise. Well, in time would have been a fine officer. I've asked Colonel Hakeev to request reinforcements. He's determined to kill people exploring a mine. Let him kill the recruits. So again, we're getting a nice impression of the Romulan command here. And there are those spheres we were told about. Oh, and uranium ore. I do occasionally have to remember to keep doing this stuff for later. We do get into some of the R&D parts. Oh, and there is a hole as well. This hole is tunneled through solid magnesite. It's too precise to be one of the mining tunnels, and there's a slight trace of silicon. Not many creatures could do something like this. Does it begin with Hit and end with Horta? Oh, and there's some evidence of the people who've been burned. Speaking of which, they appear to be fighting something. Let's go and help whatever it is. Well, there it is. The Horta, or the really unconvincing pizza monster. If you ever see it, it might look weird and unconvincing here. Trust me, nothing compared to what you see in the classic Trek episodes. So we'll communicate. No kill eye has burned in the floor. I get an alkaloid for it, so we'll leave it alone here. Okay, we won't kill you. So that was literally, I mean, you can actually finish, I think you can finish this level without looking there at all. Let's look, see what they were doing here before I shot most of them. So, overheard from Holofeed, Yannick is fighting with Kiev again. Kiev takes shuttle and leaves base for days. Long-range sensor markers progress in neutral zone. 6 miners held for questioning. Chief Medical Officer reports 2 cases of Lydinium flu. Printed message sent from Colonel Kiev to unknown recipient. Victor are investigated further. So this is some sort of Romulan Tal'Shar listening post. So the true way, that's a Cardassian splinter group. The Tapa Council petitions Federation for funded infrastructure projects, 47 indicated bombing. The Tapa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets convicted of terrorists. Marum Okada reigns, Starfleet sending advisor to Prime. Cardassian apply to Federation membership, Ministry of Trade exchange agreement with Ferengi. What's this one here is looking at Borg activity. It is just futiles. Well, there, that's useful, I'm sure. Klingon Empire. And again, you might recognise some of these things. Chancellor Jimpok facing increasing challenges. Alliance between House of Jimpok and House Duras is weak. Exploitable, recommend send agents. Many members discommodated, you'll have seen that in the Klingon ones that I've covered. Have been absorbed into House Duras. KDF leadership anger by High Council mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Fit clearly massing under new leadership. So there you go, Marilyn Diane. She's ahead of that, seen entering home with Drek, son of Martok. And Gorn pushed for representative from Council rejected. So I quite like how that references something you see in the Klingon arc. Starfleet. What were we saying about Starfleet? Captain Solo has applied for transfer to the front lines of the Klingon conflict. Admiral Quinn, under medical care for heart condition. It's fully treatable and not a target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of routine exercises. Plank and Drake, again, you might have run into him. Heading for extended operation. Starfleet Command, considering new tactics of conflict true way. Starfleet intelligence combined with war profiteering by Ferengi and Dopatarian. We've got 2 here. Romulan Empire. So increased power use in Royal Palace. Senator Shimmick is accepting bribes. Erosion representatives meet with Sela. Riemann representative removed from Senate chamber. Titan assassinated 3 unification proponents arrested. Agents for Sela met with True Leaders near Badlands. And Tau Dewa. As archaeological activity, artifact of high value find, we've done that. Now it's to capture colonists, punitive Moran, mixed forces, Federation, Starfleet, long range social destabilization of a Canadian culture. That's actually a mission that was dropped sadly. Tholian activity, there's our nebula, we will look at that when we start looking at some of the cues. And cloaked assets monitoring construction of listening post the Juret system. Right, so lots of stuff going on here.
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own next.
See, I'm wondering if this
I'll
bloke's
be
meant to be the
joining you
brother.
there soon enough. If Hakeeb has his way, we all will.
But I don't know, because it doesn't come up, so we can now run in here. Yeah, there's not like a chance to talk to any of these people. But what you can do is just open the cells. And you can see the miners are coming to help us. And there's a wee room off to the side here, but doesn't have. Didn't actually. I thought there was something in here, but no, there's actually nothing of use in here. Wrong button. Oh, yeah, that's good. She goes out of combat though.
You again? How do you always manage to... Never mind. Obviously, the Tal Shiar have had no luck in stopping you. I have no desire to try my own fortunes. Why are you here? How did you even find out about us?
So with this guy. Why does Riemann Resistance want to destroy this base?
The Remans know about this base? Impossible! Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you, but it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here. Nothing more. There are many targets that those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
We know each other too well for me to accept that.
Colonel Akiv will want my blood for this, but... Take my security code. You can use it to access the control room. You'll find everything you're looking for there.
Okay. So there you go. It means we don't actually have to kill her, which is handy. So we can now get to the control room with our little squad of miners. Control room being here. Oh, there's not. Oh. Our squad coming around. Oh, bums. Force field.
You again? I suppose it was inevitable.
Yep, like I am.
Fitting, as this is the perfect opportunity
She's
to
carrying a Klingon
eliminate
gun.
you.
Interesting.
Though I would like to watch you suffer personally. My plans are larger than you alone. The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Oh. Yeah, just going critical. We need to get out of here, but not before we find out what's so important. He'll destroy it to protect it. I didn't lock it, so we found it. Now we've got to escape. Oh.
How did you find this place?
How did?
No matter. You won't be revealing anything to
But
yourself.
we've done this. Time jump.
It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper
I think that's what you get when. Quite nice. That's just good for me.
The self-destruct
But
sequence
this is what you get when you're not Romulan and
This
you don't have the history with him.
will be your tomb.
But there's a glitch that I've not run into before. Escape from the mines. Guys, come on. Now there isn't a time, it's not like you can get trapped in the mines sadly. It would have been good if it... I'm not always keen on things where you're chasing against a clock, in fact I blooming hate them, but... At the moment I could technically go for a wee seat, and as far as I know, the mine wouldn't collapse. No one's trying to stop me, so I have this gentle saunter. I think you could possibly do this with a bit more intensity than what we have here. But make our way gently through the mines, right out before this. And this is again, where I'd have expected to find this brother amongst one of the prisoners or something, but you just don't. Or I'm missing something again. If I've been missing it for years and been an absolute idiot, please let me know, because I'd be interested. Oop. Let's go and talk to Madran about how the Tal Shiar is sitting here.
you done to my mind?
There was an infestation of Tal Shiar spies in there. I just fumigated.
Tal Shiar? I'm shocked.
Shocked, I tell you.
Idea.
Shocked.
I certainly wouldn't have sent you
Yes,
down
you
there
would
if
have.
you... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember, I have an exclusive contract.
Stop with the lies, Madran. You knew who and what was down there.
And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the Quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed, their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business.
Do you know anything about what they discovered?
Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janek and Hakiv were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakiv mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know that Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
Treat the miners well, Madran, or I'll be back. Yeah, Madran doesn't seem to know much, or at least he's not willing to part with the information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the ship and try our luck decrypting the files recovered from the Tal Shiar. I'm sure they'll be more useful than anything Madran has to say. So, this is an interesting one, and it's actually one that's easy to miss and occasionally wonder what you're meant to do next, because you've actually got to decrypt some files. You think the mission's finished, you know, you've done the usual beam up thing, and it's fairly easy to think, oh well, that's us done, but we've not. What we've actually got to do is this, and I don't know if we've done this before. You actually have a ship interior. We very rarely use them because they were meant to be social spaces, but this is a very antisocial game. But you do have a ship interior. Look, you can see here's our bridge. There's all my duty officers standing at stations, and what I'm going to do is go into the ready room, which is here. And you can see I've got a picture of an old colony, I think, a fish tank. There's a picture of the old colony. And what I'm wanting to do is is access library files. So what we have is we've got a series of files, but there's one called communication. So we'll look at reciprocity because it's an unknown file type. So files encrypted using a multivariable pass that references other files. So what we've got to do is look at each of these files. So again, there's some information. So they do say this is no anomalous file. Again, all these are normal, but cross-reference, and there's something wrong for commendation, and we know it's not commendation because you've watched the other ones. It's commendation acts of treason. So with that change, we then open reciprocity and we apply that passkey. So go to the next file, plethora. Again, we've got a few things there. Cross-reference. He didn't retire. Again, I'm not sure if I put it up, but the Federation. In fact, I haven't yet, but you will see when I put up the Federation plan. Spoiler here. So again, we'll open that and apply the passkey. And we'll go to Presidents. And now this one is just... So I can't remember what I meant to change. Nope. There we go. So we're beginning to get some things like that. The final one is referendum. Again, we change that, apply the passkey, and we now have secret Riemann base defense in the Dira system. Analysis the communication traffic. So they've left a ship. So they've found it from capturing a ship, killing everyone on it. Tal Shiar is planning an attack on a Riemann base. We need to get this information to make a Great Hall in Kronos immediately. So again, so we'll leave the ship interior for the moment. Because remember, we are working for the Klingons at this point.
Obasek is justified in his anger. The Tal Shiar records you recovered from their listening post indicate that they have been tormenting the Riemans for months. Their bases have been attacked, their ships destroyed, and their families killed or imprisoned. There is no more honorable reason to pick up a blade than to defend your home and family. However, Obasek was willing to use Thaleron weapons to destroy a handful of Tal Shiar operatives. Using a hammer to swat a globfly is not the warrior's way. It is madness.
So.
Congratulations, Admiral.
The mines in the Hithor system are ripe for conquest.
It is good that you look at the world with a conqueror's eye. There is much there.
In the Federation, you're saying we should go and help there.
Plentiful resources, a ready workforce, a place to prepare our ships to strike at Sealer's forces. I will take your proposal to the High Council.
It's the downside
If
is
they
that
agree,
obviously with this
perhaps you will
you'd
have
be
the honor
technically
of
Klingon
leading
in
the
this.
invasion force.
It was a lazy shortcut. So let's do this for
We know from the information you recovered from the Hithar system that the Tal Shiar are planning to attack a Riemann settlement in the Dera system. We have an opportunity to reach the settlement first. I want you to go to the Dera system and learn more about the Riemann uprising. If you can gain the trust of the Riemans by convincing them of your solidarity with their cause, so much the better. I suspect this affair is more than simple squabbling. The Tal Shiar either have something to gain from persecuting the Riemans, or they are under orders to do so. I want to know which it is.
Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for today. That's at least a mission done. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and some more action going through the common part of it, and you can go through this as any faction. If you have any comments, particularly about how to deal with that woman's brother, please do mention it in the comments or talk to me on Twitter. I'm at Pyman70, that's at capital P, capital M, and the number 70 on Twitter. Other than that, I'd just like to say once again, thanks everyone for watching. Please tune in next week for the next part, or next time. It's usually every 2 weeks to get these out, but it'll be every month because I usually do something else in the interim. So tune in next time for the next video of this. But until that time, once again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, bye for now.